Hi everyone, this is Shreyas Tiwari. Today I will teach you solid state physics and semiconductor physics and electronic devices. So before go to the depth of the chapter, first we read some basic and fundamental things, then we will proceed to the further and will further on we teach in a more elaborate manner. So before going to the PN junction or diffusion or maybe by BJT MOSFET, first we study the fundamental thing that is called the semiconductor physics. That is semiconductor physics. So as semiconductor, so as you decoded from the name, that is semiconductor means thing which is between the conductor and insulator. That's why it is called a semiconductor. And second thing that we will study, that is called the PN junction. But before go to the PN junction, we study what is the basic fundamentals and what is the basic postulates, what are the basic rules, then we go to the PN junction. So that's the today's topic that we today study. Now go to the semiconductor physics. Semiconductor physics is basically a physics behind the formation of a band, formation of the atoms, formation of the bonds, different atoms, how it is formed, how they share their electrons to the nearest atom to form the bonds. So here, let's see. That is a band. That is 1s, that is 2s, that is 3s. Sorry, that's not a 3s, that's a 2p. That's the 3s and that's a 3. And that's called the atoms. This is called an atoms. So as we studied in earlier classes in 7th or 8th, in 1s there is 2 electrons. 2s, 2 electrons. 2p, there are 6 electrons. So as Pauli exclusion rules, they are all of opposite polarity, and that is called 3s, and that's a 3p. That's the atom, and here is the band. That's the band. So we go from this atom to band, and further from band we will study the more and more elaborate things. So atom, in one atom, as we know, it contains 2 electrons. So these are combinations of these electrons. Combinations of these 2 electrons form a one band. 1s, then we go to a 2s. 2s, there are 2 electrons. These electrons form another band. Then we go from the 2p, as we know in the p shell there are 6 electrons, so 6 electrons is from another band. And here, that is called the 3s and 3p. Upper side band is known as conduction band and this lower one side is known as the valence band. And conduction band contains energy EC and valence band has the energy EV. So it is just a band diagram. You can see that EC is the energy of the conduction band and EV is the energy in the valence band. And here we define the new term that is called the energy gap, or we may say that the Fermi energy, Fermi energy not, it is called the band gap energy, and it is called EG. That's called the EG, and EG is simply the difference between the energy in conduction band and energy in the valence band. So now here we raise all the basic terminologies to teach the more and more deep things, and we will focus on only these two things. From here we will go to the more and more elaborate things from PN junction, MOSFET, BJT and more electronic devices. So here EG, that's a simply energy gap. That's the difference between the EC minus EV. So let's talk to the energy band. Now we go to the more details. N, P and Ni. Now we see the new terms that is called N, P, Ni. Here N is denote the number of electrons in the conduction band. N, number of electrons in the conduction band. P, that is the holes. I will teach you the concept behind the hole generation, and there is electron generation in the conduction band. There is the electrons, there is the holes, that is called the holes, and Ni is called the intrinsic concentration carrier, which value is intrinsic concentration, whose value is a constant, approximately is equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power 10 per centimeter cube. That is the electrons, that is the holes, and that is the intrinsic. That is the diagram in equilibrium. We will further study N-type semiconductor, P-type semiconductor, that's the another thing. But here we will talk about the equilibrium. What means equilibrium? Equilibrium important condition is this, where N barabar P and P is equal to Ni. That is the intrinsic carrier concentration. That is the story of all behind the intrinsic semiconductor, or you may say that a semiconductor in equilibrium. Now, second thing, from where these positive charge and electrons is generated. The whole story behind all of this is mainly two things is all of the behind this. That is the generation and the recombination. Generation and recombination. The electrons from the valence band is excited from their state and goes to the conduction band state, which creates a void that's called a holes, and these electrons is called a generation. That is called the generation. And these electrons after this generation is down back to the valence band state and recombined with the holes. That is called the recombination. So the whole story, the behind is all of this process is generation and recombination. That is the N, as we tell, number of electrons in the conduction band, P, holes in the, that is positive charge, holes in the valence band state, and these all equal to a constant intrinsic carrier constant whose value is 1.5 10 to the power 10 per centimeter cube. Now we will see here we have the thing we already know the energy that is the EC minus PV. Ni, that is the value of Ni, is directly proportional to exponential of Eg, that is the energy band gap, upon 2 kT. That is the Ni, that is the intrinsic carrier concentration, that Ni is directly proportional to the exponential of minus times of Eg upon 2 kT. That is the important relation that we study, that is the value of the Eg, that is the energy gap. As we increase the temperature, the Eg decreases. So more number of electrons goes from valence band to the conduction band, excited state. So here the generation takes place, and more number of recombinations also takes place. That's the story of the equilibrium. Now go to the second page. Ideal semiconductor. Now we will study about the ideal semiconductor. Ideal semiconductor just behave like a resistor. That's ideal semiconductor is simply the ideal semiconductor whose IV characteristics just a linear and as we know the resistance R exactly equal to 1 upon conductive L area. Here we will study the new relation, the conductivity, and new terminology is mobility and Ni. Mu n, that is the mobility of the electrons, plus mu p, that is called the mobility of the holes, and this term multiplied by Q, that is the electron charge. So here the term that is sigma, that is known as the conductivity. Ni is the intrinsic carrier concentration, as we previously studied. That is the mu n, the mobility of electron, mu p is the mobility of the holes, and Q is the charge. The value 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So here mu n and mu p, value of the mu n is greater than the value of the mu p. That is the main reason behind the preference of all the electronic devices which contain the current due to the electrons rather than the current due to the holes. The value of the mu n always greater than the value of the mu p. That's why we study the NMOS prefer than the PMOS, or we will say the BJT, which NPN BJT rather than prefer than the PNP BJT. Only the one reason is the mobility. Because if the mobility is more, your device is more faster, then it will take the lesser time to give the output. So if it gives the lesser time, then obviously that is preferred by the most of electronic and electronic devices companies, instrumentation companies, that which give the output in lesser time and much easier way. So now second thing is that we study the types of the semiconductor. Oh, before go to the type of the semiconductor, one more basic thing that I want to teach you is that is the, as we studied, that is the energy due to the conduction band, that is the energy due to the valence band. Here is all the game is all about the energy gap, which categorizes the semiconductors, conductors and insulators. It all depends on the value of the Eg. Eg, as we earlier studied, that is the difference between the energy in conduction band and energy in the valence band. So, if the value of the Eg, now we will categorize, if the value of the Eg is less than 5 electron volt, or maybe 5 is more, you may say 4 electron volt, 1 electron volt, maybe one little bit more, let's say 0.024 electron volts second. And the value of the Eg is greater than the 5 electron volt. And the third one, the condition of the superimposing, that is comes under the metals, or you can say under the conductors. If the value of the Eg lies between this range of the values, then it will say that is the semiconductor. If the value of the Eg is greater than the 5 electron volt, so obviously we can see that if the value of the Eg is greater than the 5 electron volt, then there is no excitation of the electrons from the valence band to the conduction band. So if there are no excitations of electrons from valence band to the conduction band, then there is no probability of the flowing of the current from valence band to the conduction band. There is no probability of generation. There is no probability of recombination. So that's the thing. That is the insulator. And in case of the conductor, then overloading takes place, and the energy in conduction band, energy valence band overload. So there will easily flow of the electrons from valence band to the conduction band, and easily generation recombination process takes place. We will categorize the semiconductor in the two types, as we said earlier, that is the N type and P type. So that's all about the aim of the energy values. So we will see that N type and P type semiconductors that we studied in the 12th semester standard. The silicon has 4 valency. So arsenic, silicon, that is the arsenic, is from nitrogen family, and it has a 5 valency. So here, as we know, the arsenic has a 5 valency. It will Nd plus electrons. That is the electrons, and that is called the N-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor. Why it is called the N-type semiconductor? Why? It is called the N-type semiconductor. Why? Because in this semiconductor, mainly the current flow is due to the electrons. Electrons is N is electron, whose value is equal to 10 to the power 16, and that is the donor charge impurities, and is equal to 20, and value of the P, that is the number of holes, whose value is approximately equal to Ni square. The new relation we study, that is P is equal to Ni square upon N, and its value is approximately equal to 10 to the power 4. Here N is the majority area and P is the minority area. So N-type semiconductor is the semiconductor where mainly the current flow is due to the electrons. The electrons are the majority carriers and holes are the minority carriers. And the new relation we studied, the N into P, the multiplications of the N into P, that is equal to the Ni square, is a constant. The value of the N is increases, obviously the value of the P decreases. And the same story. And another thing is that all the elements that is the use in the doping, all the elements that is the use in the doping, which belongs to the nitrogen family, that is the nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, and every element that is belong to the nitrogen family is responsible for the n-type semiconductor. And similarly, in p-type semiconductor, here and that is Na, and P, the relation change that the accepted type impurities. There are also now the whole thing is reversed. Earlier that was N, right now that is the P, and that is was Na, right now that is the Nd. And here impurity is dopant is belong to the boron family. That is from the boron, aluminium. So due to the boron family, there is one value of the holes is greater than the value of the electron. That's why the such type of the semiconductor is known as the p-type semiconductors. Okay. Oh, little bit error in this equation, that is P naught, that is equal to the Na plus electron, that will give Na minus plus positive charge in the case of that is a hole. So that's all story all behind the p-type semiconductor. Now we will study another important thing, that is effect of temperature on the semiconductor. Effect of the temperature on the semiconductor. So here you will see a graph between the N versus 1 upon T. That is the graph between the N versus 1 upon T. And this graph is simply like this. That is known as that region is the donor freeze out, called a donor freeze out. We will categorize this graph into mainly three regions. That is the region 1, region 2, and that's the region 3. And that is a graph N versus 1 upon T. So as we move away from the x-axis, the temperature decreases. As we move in the initial point, the temperature is higher. So first we will discuss the donor freeze out. If the value of the temperature becomes so low, value of the temperature has become minimum, so there will be no excitations of the electrons from the valence band to the conduction band. If there is no excitations of the electrons from valence band to the conduction band, so the conditions of the donor freeze out takes place. As the temperature becomes very low, there will be no excitations, there will be no generation of Na and Nd. So the conditions will generate, that is known as the donor freeze out. In this region, that is the room temperature, that is the region second is known as the room temperature. In this region, we will say that is the semiconductor is n-type, because here the temperature is simply in a medieval range. So there is no probability of taking the excitations of lesser or lower or higher. So that's why in this region the semiconductor is your n-type. Why it is n-type? Because we take the graph between simply the N versus 1 by T. The same story is reversed. This is the graph between the P versus 1 by T. And that is the region 1. That is a very important region that I described. That is the region 1, where the value of temperature is so large. Now, As you remember the earlier relationship that we told to you, that the value of the Ni is directly proportional to E minus Eg upon 2 kT. Have you remembered this relation? The value of the Ni is exponentially to the inversely proportional to the value of the temperature. So the story behind is all of this concept. Let's suppose here the value of N is 10 to the power 16, the n-type semiconductor, and the value of this hole is 10 to the power 4. Okay. Now, if we increase the temperature, we go to the region 1, the temperature becomes higher and higher. If there is more temperature, there is more excitations of the electrons from valence band to the conduction band. If there is more excitations of electrons from valence band to the conduction band, there is more generations of the electrons. If there is more generations of the electrons, so that there is a one condition is reached, the value of the N will almost be approximately equal to the value of the P. So in this type of the condition, your semiconductor is converted from N type to the intrinsic semiconductor. Yeah, that is called very intrinsic. Where equilibrium condition is reached out, the value of the N is equal to the value of the P, and your semiconductor is converted from N type to the intrinsic type. So that is the important graph, that is equal N versus 1 by T. It is the simply a snake type structure. We divide the graph in the 3 regions, first, second and third. In very low temperature, the donor freeze out will take place. At the room temperature, your semiconductor will remain semiconductor as it is usual N type. And if we increase the temperature higher and higher, your semiconductor will convert from the N type to the intrinsic semiconductor. Okay, so that's the graph between the N versus 1 by T. Now we will study the mechanism behind the electron or current flow inside the semiconductor. So basically there are two types of the process that is mainly responsible for the flow of the electron inside the semiconductor. That is the drift, and another one is diffusion. The positive, negative, the flow of electrons this side, obvious the current will flow in the opposite side, and electric field. Where the current flow due to the electric field E, such mechanism is known as the current flow due to the drift, or we may say the drift current. That is the J sigma and mu n E, that is the drift current due to the electrons, and Jp sigma P mu P E. Here this is the current density due to the electron, current density due to the hole, and this mechanism is known as the drift current mechanism, where the current will flow takes place due to the presence of the electric field, and this mechanism is known as the drift current mechanism. Now, the second mechanism which is responsible for the flow of current in the semiconductor, that is the concentration gradient. And this mechanism is known as the current due to the diffusion. What is the diffusion? As we studied in the earlier classes in London Mediate and 11th month, the diffusion is the main flow of the concentration of the electrons or particles from higher concentration to the lower concentration. This mechanism of the flow of the charged particles from higher concentration to the lower concentration is known as the diffusion. So in this process, the current mainly flows due to the diffusion process. And the current equation Jn Q, that is the Dm diffusion constant, and that is the electron gradient. dN into dx. That is the current due to the electron. And similarly, Jp is the current due to the holes, equal to the minus Q dP minus Q dP upon dx. That is the concentration gradients of the holes. So these are two mechanisms of the current flow inside the semiconductor. First is drift one, and this is from the diffusion one. Now, here we study all the semiconductor physics. Most of the probably students have already studied in the earlier classes in 11th and 12th all of the basic things. But before go to the further and more elaborate things in p-n junctions and Fermi energy level and another depletion region, more and more things, then that these things are so and so important. Without these things, you can't go, or maybe you may learn, but you can't know the actual mechanism and actual concept behind the formations of the any band, any atoms, and many more. Now, another important thing is called p-n junction that we told, as we all are already familiar with the p-n junction. That is the Vi3 again. That is p-n junction. We all are already familiar to with the symbol, and to the P here Na Nd 10 to the power 16 and Na value to the power 16. So that is called a p-type semiconductor, and that is called n-type semiconductor when the two different metals is combined, is form a junction that is known as the p-n junction. Okay, friends, that's the whole story for we study the semiconductor physics, all the concepts, all the theories, what is the energy band, how the band deformation takes place, what is the type of the semiconductor, how there is variations or effect of the temperatures on the energy band, and at the what extent the semiconductor is converted into the intrinsic or comes into the zone of the donor sees out, have already been studied. And this all, when we study all of these fundamental things, then we further proceed to the main thing, that is the main topic, that is known as the p-n junction. Believe me, without these fundamental things, you can't understand the physics, you can't understand the whole concept behind the p-n junction. So, okay, that's it.